Arsenal 6, West Ham United 0. An absolute humiliation, an annihilation, a baptism under the fire for the Hammers, who were categorically ripped apart limb from the opening minute. One of the most dominant displays, not only will you see this season in the Premier League, but one of the best and most dominant away performances in the history of this fantastic league. The amount of goals scored, the quality of goals, the possession-based statistics, the fact that West Ham did not lay a single glove. And it appears as we come into the back end of the season, what myself and a lot of people that can put their bias aside, coupled with a lot of Arsenal fans, felt is now starting to come to fruition. The team that started the season purposefully a little bit slower, a little bit more, I don't want to use the word laid back, but they were not playing at the same speed as last year. But this was all about the second half of the season, clicking into gear and having that blood and that energy remaining in their legs. And what we saw today from Arsenal has been the same, by the way, in every performance since their winter break. Fast, direct, quick-paced football, killer instinct, and that is now 16 goals in their last 4 Premier League games. I always knew they were going to be in the title race this year. They are 100% in this title race. Arsenal are a scary, dangerous, potent outfit, and anybody doubting their credentials as title contenders, anybody twisting the narrative to, yeah, but City are the favourites, you're just deluding yourself. You're just making yourself angry. Arsenal are no longer the whipping boys of the top 6. Arsenal are no longer this mediocre, weak-minded team that can be pushed around. It goes to show that the celebrating last week, the over-celebrating according to the mainstream media, was an absolute nonsense. There wasn't a single sign, a single shred of complacency from this Arsenal team. They've also, in the last 2 weeks, ironically in back-to-back games, very much laid a ghost to rest. It was against Liverpool and West Ham, a slightly later stage of the season, but definitely in the second half of the campaign last year, where their title race really stopped. And to go back to the ground where it all really fell apart against West Ham United after taking a 2-0 lead, not only to beat them on the backdrop of having lost the game twice to them already this season, but to lay that ghost to rest, to put that bad memory behind them, to move on to the next game now with so much confidence brimming throughout every single pore of this football team, the squad, the management. It was fantastic for Arsenal from a psychological standpoint to get that done. And for me, this clearly demonstrates a team that has grown since last year, a team that is more mentally resilient. And the player in which I think has been a huge catalyst in this, the player in which I think has made this so possible, is Declan Rice. For me, the man of the match performer today. I'll get on to Saka in a minute, that I thought was great. I thought Odegaard dictated play very well. Defensively, it was an absolute masterclass. But Declan Rice controlled the game. Declan Rice ran the midfield. He created 2 goals with one. Listen, who knew he was that good at crossing balls? When he first started taking corners a few weeks ago for Arsenal, people were laughing. They're not laughing anymore. Got those 2 assists, and then he topped the day off. He put the cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake, with an absolute thunderbolt against his old team. For me, it was almost the cutting of the umbilical cord. That he's been an Arsenal player since the summer, and I get that. But it was almost like, this is it. This is the final goodbye. This is no more. You booed me. You mocked me. You also helped make me. But I'm Arsenal now. And that's almost what this performance and the output surrounding it really represented. I've said it for a while. The best £100 million player in Premier League history. If you look at all the players purchased for in and around that amount of money, he's the one who's been the most consistent. He's taken to his new club like a duck to water. He's gone up a level, in fact, since that move. And today was just such the epitome of this new karma more resilient Arsenal team, who, yes, don't have as many points as this stage last year, but in my humble opinion, are a better team in terms of title credentials. Last year, when they were playing at a million miles an hour, swashbuckling football, a little bit gun-ho and cavalier, what a lot of us didn't see coming was the backside of the season when the fatigue came in. And you realize, you know what? There was a little immaturity. They were playing too hard, too fast, too early in the season. What you are now seeing is a more reserved Arsenal team that understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint. And we have to analyze each game. Of course we do. But there are so many crazy assumptions being made earlier on this season that everybody too quickly wrote them out of a title race. They're a scary team. They're a dangerous team. They're a potent team. And what they just did today to West Ham, I think, is illegal in most of Europe. Thank God we've left the EU, as we might be up for humanitarian charges today with what they just did to West Ham. They put them to bed like you would not believe. And the response as well. So what was yesterday a comfortable win for Manchester City, with pressure being put upon Liverpool and Arsenal. And then Liverpool themselves, their fans not happy with the overarching performance, but they walked away with 3 points. Arsenal had to respond. Would Arsenal over-celebrating last week hinder them? Not on your Nelly. Not on your Nelly. And still, I still don't believe Arsenal are the favourites to win the league. I don't, as of right now. But they have a chance. They have a significant chance of winning this with the quality that they are, the displays they're putting in. And it isn't even the goals. It's not the goals, it's the control of the games. I understand the goals make a game more entertaining, but the control they have in matches, the fact they're barely progressed upon by everyone they play, pretty much, is ridiculous. Now, I want to speak Bukayo Saka as well in my part of the show before the panel come out. And the reason I want to speak about Bukayo Saka, from an outputs point of view, he's probably going to have his best season in an Arsenal shirt. He made it over 100 GA in 231 league appearances today. And by the way, 30 to 40 of those league appearances were at left back. So from an attacking point of view, he's got an amazing ratio for such a young player. But he's been criticised a lot this year, sometimes fairly, sometimes ridiculously, for the lack of performances. But today was a stellar performance. Today, he was dangerous. He was everywhere. He should have scored 2 goals before brilliantly winning the penalty. Scored the penalty, scored an excellent goal in the second half. The game was already gone, of course. Was able to be taken off nice and early as well. And I think that would really impress and make Arsenal fans happy that some of their stars got to have that rest. But I thought Bukayo Saka today was nothing short of spectacular. And everything that I thought would happen in the second half of the campaign is starting to. Players that were out of form that needed dropping are starting to find their feet, starting to find form. Arsenal moving the ball quicker. Arsenal scoring more goals. In fact, when you look at the league table, and it's up on the screen now, yes, Liverpool top, Arsenal that sit there in third. 2 points separate the top 3, but Arsenal and Man City both on plus 31 goal difference, and Liverpool on plus 32 goal difference. Goals scored for Arsenal 53. Goals scored for City 56. Goals scored for Liverpool 55. But I thought Arsenal didn't score goals. We were all told. There's no way Arsenal can be in a title race with a lack of goals. When it comes to the defense, best defense in the league. This is a serious outfit, and it's frustrated me the poor level of analysis surrounding them. Equally, what you'll now get is people saying, well, they must win the league from this point. Well, no, they're not the best team in England. That's how good Man City are, that this Arsenal team, who are astoundingly good, are not the favourites to win our league. I think if Arsenal were German, I think if Arsenal were Spanish, I think if Arsenal were Italian, definitely if they were Portuguese or French, they'd be winning their respective league. Genuinely, as a league team, I think they're that good. Champions League's another story. But in the league, they are so good. They are so good that have been practically neck and neck now for 18 months with the best team in the world, Manchester City. And that is no mean feat. Real Madrid might pick them actually in La Liga. Real Madrid are a phenomenal side. But you get my point. I don't think Real Madrid, by the way, are as good as Man City. Much of a muchness at league level. They are that good. And people can say Terry's twerking. I'm just praising what is a fantastic team. And I actually praise Liverpool, by the way, and Spurs for their wins yesterday, more than their own fans did, if you want to get onto that. But they didn't just go away from home to West Ham and win 6-0. And by the way, they hadn't have taken their best players off, and took their foot off the gas, this could have been 7, 8, 9, 10. They made West Ham fans go home at half time. About 20,000 minimum left. Westfield is packed, bruv. Westfield was busy, my G. So you can call it whatever you want, but viewers, do me a big, big favor and smash that like button. By the way, I want to see you all back for the Man United match review as well. I know you're not all Man United fans, but it's my team. Come support me in the terrace. Forget my club. Probably, but come back. I want to see you all there. Let's do some of these super chats before I bring my panel out. We've got Sard, we've got Matt, we've got Halftime Hooks, we've got Man Like Gunner Soul. My brother's back. I ain't seen him for a few weeks. Lee here says, you're right. Arsenal are now getting into second half pace. I always thought they would. And, you know, for me, I'll tell you why I always thought they would. It was that strange analysis for me that Kai Havertz had made the whole team change the way it played. I didn't believe it was because of the Kai Havertz signing. I believed it was an instruction from the manager. I think it was an understanding from these players that we can't go out there with the same gun-ho pace that we did last year. I've always felt that. It felt like an action as opposed to a problem, personally. No one in Europe is scared of Arsenal. West Ham are shocking. Fair play, bro, but you must be a little scared that you said that. One doth protest too much, methinks. Look how happy he is. No point hiding it now. Brother, go back and watch the beginning of yesterday's match reaction when I was praising up what Spurs did. Smile on my face because I enjoy and love football, and I'm unbiased. And my job is to be neutral for the viewers that support various teams. Don't put me sitting here being salty about something. It's not the way I am. Rice, baby, is what Stephen H says. And Wani looked like he is us for us at 16. Phenomenal. Yeah, looked very tidy when he came on. Watch the rival fans discard us again. Probably a kill. Terry, if we win the league, I hit 500 quid to the channel. I appreciate that, my friend. And the terrace can always do with a donation or two. Thank you, Vindaloo. Thank you, Terry, for giving us our flowers. But the thing is, you just got to call things as you see them. And I felt like the Arsenal analysis all season has been wrong. I'm not denying that there's been some games that have been harder watches than last year. And it's been less entertaining. But Arsenal's job, Mikel Arteta's job, isn't to entertain the world. Their job is to try and win a league title. Looking back, using, dare I say this, Sava, using hindsight from last year, Arsenal went out too gun-ho to begin with. Arteta's an intelligent man, and he's gone into this season and said, what we need to do is pace ourselves better. It was nothing to do with bringing in Kai Havertz that suddenly made them play a worse brand of football when it isn't clicking and the players are unhappy. That was far too much. You know, just because there's correlation doesn't equal causation. Rivals dislike us over us. Arsenal fans is blinding their opinion on how good Arsenal actually are. Completely correct. They take the simple route for easy, joining the pointless banter like the rest. It's actually quite... When you praise rival teams and just get it out of the way because you know they're good, it's quite liberating. You feel less bitter. Maybe that's why I'm nearly 40 and there's not a grey hair on my head. Maybe. Maybe that's why I sleep for like 9 hours every night. No issues. I'm just not harboring any demons. Rival fans saying too many set pieces, but it could be pivotal. Big up to Rory. He predicted a big margin. Yeah, Rory did, to be fair. Rory did predict this. We've got to shout him out. He got laughed at a little bit as well, but a huge prediction, correct from him. And the talk about set pieces is crazy. Again, what's happening to Arsenal here is what people try to do to Bruno Fernandes. But assists from corners and penalties aren't really goals or assists. Yes, they are. If you've got phenomenal set pieces, it's an extra string to your bow. It should never be shat upon, should be praised. Equally, quite a few of the 6 goals today came from open play, including the penalty. The penalty was won through open play. So although statistically it will say set piece, how was it won? Via open play. So yeah, look, it's all a nonsense from rivals. Saka, Rice, and Odegaard have been amazing. Big up, Gabby, for having one hell of a season. Glad we closed the goal difference. Come on, you Gooners. He certainly is having a phenomenal season. You're spot on. Thank you for all you do, Terry, running the best fan channel on YouTube. Come on, you Gooners. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate the compliment massively. Havertz is the litmus test for ball knowledge. He's always involved in build-up, and his runs are always creating space for the rest. I'm not going to change my opinion on Kai Havertz. I don't necessarily watch him and go, oh, what a footballer. But the one thing that does hurt him, it's the eye test. And I'll give you an example of this. If any of you watch in the UK, there's a TV show called The Masked Singer. Don't really watch it. My daughter loves it though, and it's on. And I was doing something in the living room earlier on today, and I heard someone singing on it. And I knew within 3 seconds, it's a character called Cricket. It's a singer called Lamar. And I know that because Lamar's my favorite singer. I've been to multiple concerts. I've listened to every song. I know that guy's voice in a second. I think he's got maybe one of the best voices the UK's ever produced. But due to the way he's perceived in terms of he's a little bit boring, you never see him in, he's not one of these sort of celebrities that has a celebrity lifestyle. He's never quite got the acclaim that his talent deserves. He kind of doesn't pass the eye test, if that makes sense, because he doesn't do certain things that a lot of other celebrities do to make it to the big time. There's only a handful of artists that are sort of highly credible and highly famous all at the same time. And that's how I think some footballers are. They can have a talent, but it isn't a talent that makes your mouth water, that doesn't kind of fit the stereotypical side of things. But look, they're in this title race again. He's part of this team week in, week out. So far, he hasn't cost the title for Arsenal. I wouldn't say that's true by any stretch of the imagination. And look, he's part of a team that's got you into a title race 2 years running. So how much worse has he really made them? I'm sitting, by the way, it doesn't mean you shouldn't look to improve and get better than him moving forward either. Something disappointed you're somewhat disappointed in Arsenal today. I wanted 10-0. I'm fuming. We needed to tear the Hammers up more due to the 2 losses. Do you know what's crazy? You should have done this to them when you played them at home as well. You just didn't take your chances. What a difference a month or so makes. Kate, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I hope Kate's good if she's watching. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button yet, let's get this up to 4,000 likes while we're live on the air, please, my people. Let's get that done. So we are allowed to celebrate this win. Yeah, I saw people last night showing footage of the 3rd goal going in for Bayer Leverkusen and saying, see how their manager keeps cool. But they failed to show the footage at the end where he had them all sort of doing a lap of honor for a win. Can you imagine if Arteta made you guys do a lap of honor halfway through a season? Oh, the world would lose its mind. I enjoyed the West Ham tears after all the yapping, saying they replaced Rice with better midfield trio. The Rice goal was a chef kiss. Listen, Rice today, he just ended any kind of debate like that. He absolutely ended any of it. What a player. Time for the panel now. Brandon's with us. Souls is here. Sard, Matt, and Halftime Hooks is here as well. Welcome back to the show, gents. Brandon, what a win. What a performance today.
Absolute annihilation, Tel. Complete domination. West Ham got 50 shades of grey today. That's what they got. 50 shades of grey. And, at the beginning of the season, we was all talking about this controlled football. That was controlled football to an absolute T. We didn't allow West Ham to, get into the game at all. They had 1 shot on target. I think they had 6 touches inside of our box. We just dominated, absolutely dominated. And I'm going to big up Bukayo Saka today, right? Because in recent weeks, I've been on his back, as well as Kai Havertz, but him in particular as well, because obviously we expect a lot better from our star boy than what we've been seeing. I thought he set the tone today. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. Even in the opening minutes, when he was missing chances and that, he was taking pot shots from outside the area, creating really creating problems with the West Ham defence, especially Emerson on that right-hand side. Even though he was doing similar things to what we normally see him do, cutting inside and that, he just looked so dangerous today, and he set the tone for me. And then, 6 goals away at West Ham. I can't sit here and lie to anyone, right? Last week against Liverpool, I was nervous going into that game. Of course, it's against, one of the best teams in the league. But I was more nervous coming into this game today, purely and simply to the fact that Arsenal tend to struggle in these games in particular. And we've seen it already so far this season, 2 defeats to West Ham. But yeah, today, I mean, if you want a statement victory to say we are in this title race, there's your statement victory right there. 6-0. You can't ask for better. 4-0 at halftime. Performing like the Arsenal that we see of last season, just absolutely ruthless in front of goal. Absolutely ruthless in every area of the pitch. And like one of your super chats said, Declan Rice's goal as well. What a strike from him. And it was the chef's kiss on top of the performance that made, it a complete performance for me. And I just think every single player on the pitch stood up today, every single one of them. I was really another area that I was really worried about today, Kiwor versus Kudus. We know how dangerous that guy can be, Kudus, and Kiwor shut him down the entire game. I didn't even know he was on the pitch. James Ward-Prowse as well, and probably people would argue not the greatest of midfielders, but from a set piece standpoint, he's normally really, really dangerous. We didn't give him nothing, not a sniff. Not a sniff. Well done, Arsenal. Well done, Mikel Arteta. And, I believe again now, Tel, because if we can perform like this for the rest of the season, I think we're in with a chance. I really do. But, with 14 games remaining, we can't afford to drop any more than maybe 4 to 6 points. But like I said, now we're starting to see the Arsenal of last season, and that gets me excited again. So, yeah, big up to them.
I'm sure it gets you excited again, and there's a lot to unpack there. Souls, a little like Brandon, you were calling for top performances. You were calling for your team to be more ruthless. 16 goals in your last 4 games, 6 today. Your front line now starting to click. The pace coming back into the game for the second half of the season. You must be excited about what's in store over the next sort of 15 games or so.
I've got a question. Are you not entertained, people? Are you not entertained by this Arteta ball? This is what we wanted. Can we go to Dubai every week? Your private jet charters every single week, just book them in. Because every time we go to Dubai, every time we have this winter training, there seems to click. And you know what? Finally, Arteta's learned something from Pep. Finally, he's delivering that Pep ball. He said, beginning of the season, let's fool these people. Let's play it slow. Let's play it controlled. Let's just get our wins. Second half of the season, we're going to unleash what we can bring. And that's what they're doing. Every single game since Dubai, we have been nearly perfect. A few mistakes, but nearly perfect in every single game. And today, everything came together. Every single thing that we've been working on, everything, everyone's asked for these players, the goals, the control, bring that fast-paced football back, get those goals and be ruthless. Because the one thing I've not seen under Arteta is us being ruthless. We said to them, we're taking your souls today. 6-0. Now you're taking the piss. And that is coming from a reaction of people were writing us off the league. People said, you ain't going to beat Liverpool. You ain't going to beat West Ham. This is the run. You see Man City put a run. You say business and Man City. I'm going to say this now. We're matching them. We're going to go pace to pace. I dare City to lose a game, and I dare Liverpool to lose a game, because we're right there, and we're going to come back as soon as they slip up. Because I can tell you now, till the end of the season, there's not going to be any Arsenal slip-ups. This is our league, and I guarantee at the end of the season, who's going to win it? Arsenal. I can put my house on it right now. They are defos winning this league, because there's a different mentality. There's a different tenacity in this team. We've got the perfect balance. We can control games when we want to control them, and we can take you out when we want to take you out. Look at Liverpool as a prime example. Third goal came from nothing. Third goal didn't need to happen, and we said, yeah, we'll take the third. Today, we just took goals for jokes. They didn't even, half of those goals shouldn't have even happened. But what did we do? We made them happen. Rice outside the box, Saka scoring the way he did, Trossard, finish, penalty, set pieces. We're bringing absolutely every bit of Arteta's, praises together. His set pieces have improved from Nikola Jova. We've talked about his control. We've talked about his attacking abilities. Everything's come together. And the other thing that he's doing well is his in-game management. The one biggest critique, but his in-game management in the past few games has been nearly perfect. Now all we need to do is take those defensive stupidities out of our game, and I can tell you now we win this league very comfortably. Confident there. Hooks, do you agree with Souls? With these performances and the controlling games, are you winning this league?
Boy, but don't get me wrong. I'm loving the optimism. I'm loving the positivity. It's what I call out for every time in these reactions and in these shows, but I think it's a bit too early. Ask me that question again after we beat Man City. So after we beat Man City, then I'll answer that question. But yeah, loving the positivity, man. And I want the rest of the, angry Arsenal alliance that I see every time I turn up to these shows to start speaking a bit more positively about your club. That's all I want, brothers. Brothers, that's all I want. Let's not talk about our club like rival fans. Let's talk about our club like we're Arsenal fans. So, yeah, I mean, word to Tupac, revenge is the sweetest joy next to getting, the rest. Yeah, so great performance. Go on, Terry.
No, I was going to ask you, what do you think's clicked into gear in the past 3 to 4 games, in your opinion? Why now the goals? Why now the fluidity? Is this part of the game plan? Is it just individuals finding form? What do you put it down to, Hooks?
For me, I feel like it's just the natural kind of conclusion of what we've been trying to do all season. Like, we're not necessarily playing any differently to what we've played from the start of the season. I just think maybe now the players are a bit more comfortable in the different positions that they have to occupy. Maybe better relationships have formed across the pitch. Maybe people are starting to express themselves a bit more, play with a bit more freedom. Like, for example, I'm seeing Martinelli come all the way over from the left wing to play a bit closer to Saka, and, they're forming up, that relationship there. So, yeah, I just think that players are now a bit more used to what they had to do, and it's just coming out on the pitch. I also feel that with the Liverpool game, that gave the players like a massive confidence boost going into this game, which is why I predicted 4-0. But, even my prediction was wrong. They went 2 goals better. So what can I say? And yeah, I also want to big up Saka. 50 plus goals for Arsenal now. Youngest to do it. He's really just Arsenal through and through. And I know a lot of people complain about his performances and say he goes a bit ghost and is he just an output player this season? But I mean, as a fan, all I really care about is the outputs, right? So yeah, more power to him, more power to the players. And you can really tell, especially Declan Rice, he wanted to do something in this game. 2 assists and he wanted to do something.
I wanted revenge.
Yeah, and he got it.
He certainly did. Sard, what did you make of today? Do you agree with what your fellow Arsenal fans and panelists have said?
Yes. Listen, this was perfect result for us. I said like in multiple streams that yes, we beat Liverpool. Yes, the win was absolutely great. But if we didn't go here and we didn't get a result, it didn't mean nothing that we went there and won against Liverpool. It meant absolutely nothing. Not only did these guys go out there today and get a result, they did it tenfold. This was not just a game for them. This was personal because they knew already. They've knocked us out of the cup. They came to our ground, to our backyard, and beat us when we dominated the game and should have had them clear off the park. Today's result, I agree with you, should have been how we should have beaten them when it was at home. This should have happened when they played us at home. So today was personal, and for Declan Rice as well, getting booed all game by the fans. All game he was getting booed. Well, up until the 40th minute, up until half time when most of them left, he was getting booed, absolutely booed and slaughtered by the fans. After that goal that he scored was immaculate. I compared it to do you remember Rooney's goals? Do you remember those the random ones? And I think it's the referee one. Do you remember when the referee was talking to him and chatting shit? Yeah. And he was like, oh, fuck off, man. Just went and smacked it, bro. I just compared it to that, bro. He hit it with so much venom and across the goal. And listen, I think that meant so much to him to score. Obviously not. Respectfully, he still didn't celebrate, and he held his hands up. He was like, I'm not going to celebrate because I'm not a prick. But listen, they booed him, bro, and I don't know why they boo him, because he spent a lot of time there and he bought them a trophy. So I don't know why they boo him.
Club 105
Hella
million
disrespectful.
pounds.
It's disrespectful. I can't lie. It's mad disrespectful from West Ham fans in the ground to be booing him. But overall, it was an amazing game for me. Saka, I think, played very good.
They got playful boos. I'm like,
bro, I literally don't understand why.
It's also they're not booing a weak Arsenal team anymore. They're booing a mentally strong Arsenal team. It was just all they really did was kick the hornet's nest. Yeah, and the only reason it was 7, 8, 9 is because the instruction was, again, like the whole season, slow down now, pace yourselves, and kind of go again from that regard, really.
Yeah, no, 100%. And even, Saka today, Ødegaard, even Havertz at one point was trying to get involved, bruv, was trying to get shots on goal. I was like, bro, when did Havertz start shooting from outside the box? Do you know what I mean? But I think it was amazing, man. I think
we need to shout out another player as well, Trossard. Since he's come into the side, right, today in particular as well, some of his passing and the weight of passing as well, especially for that the second goal, the penalty, the weight of pass over the top for Bukayo Saka was unreal. And you've got to give credit to Mikel Arteta as well, because I think at the beginning of the season to the middle of the season, all the way up until the Dubai trip, like Saul's pointed out, I think our biggest problem in attack is that we was too rigid, and everything was all rigid. And Martinelli's got to stay out on the left, Saka's got to stay out on the right. Whereas last season we were so fluid in the front three, it was very interchangeable, very difficult to pick up. Now you're starting to see the fluidity around the front three again, and you've got Trossard picking up little spaces, Havertz in different spaces, Saka and Martinelli swapping sides at times. That's why we're so dangerous now. That's what I think. So credit to Mikel Arteta for recognising that as well.
Yeah, he definitely made some changes there. Matt, give us your take on the game today in terms of standout play. Who are the players today, in your opinion, that really got hold of that game for you from an Arsenal perspective?
I think it was between Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice. They were absolutely brilliant. Declan Rice really wanted to show West Ham, why Arsenal paid big bucks for him. And Saka just barely missed anything, really. He very clinical. He took that penalty very well. And then that solo goal cuts inside, hits it bottom right corner. Lovely finish. But I do want to give a special mention to Ethan Nwaneri. This guy's 16, and he's got 2 Premier League appearances already, like in his career. And what I saw today from him, he looked like the most comfortable player on the ball when he came on. Like out of that whole team, when he came on, he just looked so comfortable. And I think we're going to see a lot more from him, especially next season and potentially at the end of this season.
You could be absolutely right. You could be right about him. 16 years of age, needs to be nurtured well. Dennis, welcome back to the show, my friend. I really appreciate you coming on. Give me your breakdown of the game today. Give me your views.
I think another away day, brilliant performance, man. I love the way we approach away games this season overall, because I think the first thing we did, we knew West Ham would be up for it. Rice has come back, obviously. I think the way we controlled that ball from minute 1, the crowd were quiet, they get annoyed. I think the number one thing we've done this season is having the ball retention early. Even when we lose the ball, we win it back straight away. The crowd get angry, frustrated. The players get frustrated. They're chasing shadows. And after that, we grew into the game. And when we got our goal from Saliba, West Ham just absolutely folded, man. We were ruthless. That was the main thing. Got our goals one after the other in successive fashion. I think we learned from last season, because last season we went 2-0 up really early, played fantastic, then kind of took our foot off the gas. It became 2-1, then 2-2. We basically threw it away. So this season we got the 3rd goal, 4th goal, fantastic stuff, brilliant finishes as well. In particular, Trossard. I know the others touched upon him as well. Really good performance, man. Like, that guy is a great finisher. For me, him and Diogo Jota, like, I see them basically as like the same type of player, where they can play across the front three. They're undersized in terms of strikers, but right foot finish, left footed finish, just technical quality throughout. Love the way Ødegaard dropped deeper as well to get in today's game. Wasn't as in forward positions, but more dropping deep and dictating play from that type of position. Overall, superb performance. Brilliant way to round off the Liverpool win as well, get back-to-back victories, and brilliant response as well to the loss to West Ham and Fulham with 4 in a row. Long may it continue. That's the main thing.
But listen, I totally get the praise there for Trossard. And it's sometimes when you have games like today with Rice and with what Saka did, the winner, you can sometimes forget individuals. Let's do some of the super chats that have come in here, because there's a lot to get through. This here says, nice setup for the Super Bowl, Terry. I will be watching it. The boys are all going out tonight, but I'm not. I've got to be up early for the kids. So I'll be getting up to watch it in the night. Plus, I want to see Usher. I've heard rumours that Alicia Keys is going to be on stage as well. So even better reason to watch it, lads. This should be a two-team race, Liverpool and Arsenal. I don't understand why Man City is still allowed to even touch the ball after so many charges. Look, that's another conversation for another day, my friend, because there's not much we can say about that. Meta here says, statement win, top 4 race heating up for Arsenal. Is that just a bit of bitterness there, Souls?
Oh, you know, this bullshit that always happens every single week. Top 4. No, we're in a title race. Let's be real. Whoever wants 4th and 5th spot can have it. We're clearly. I mean, this is just rival talk, isn't it?
It certainly is. Listen, I'll say this now: that there is no top 4 race this year. Villa and Liverpool, Spurs, are also in this title race. Now, I don't think they have as big a chance as you. They don't have as big a chance as Liverpool or City. But you're in the title race until you're not. And by the time the Villas and the Liverpools, in my opinion, Spurs fall out of the title race in terms of it's impossible. I think they'll be so far ahead of the rest that Champions League spots are pretty much going to be taken care of. There isn't an out-and-out race for the top 4 this year. Everybody trying to win the title. Now, the 2 I've mentioned, 5th and 6th, 4th and 5th, sorry, they're not going to win it, in my opinion. But they're there. Until they're not, essentially. And, with the wins, Villa just kicked off now against United, and that's making me nervous. But let's do some more super chats anyway, because otherwise I'm going to watch that screen. Not only did we destroy them, we closed the goal difference gap. Yeah. We're leveling on goal difference with City. Yeah, how important, Brandon, do you think that element is today, scoring all them goals to close that gap?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very important, Tel, because I think all 3 teams, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, it's so tight at the top. It's so tight at the top. And if I'm being real, when you look at the fixtures, I don't see either of them 3 teams dropping many points in the remaining games of the season. So I think it's going to be very tight, and it may even come down to goal difference. So it's important. It's definitely important. So, yeah.
I've just had a look at my FPL. I'm absolutely cooking on 72 points. Rice and Saka and Tony. Ooh.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for letting us know. Appreciate that.
No problem. No.
Cheers, that. Arteta learning how to beat a low block, dial back the high praise, slow things down, invite West Ham to press us, and then easily play out past them and transition into the dangerous areas. New way to counter low blocks, I think. I mean, you've definitely been circumventing, Dennis, some of the low block teams recently, scoring lots of goals against them as well.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know if this one really for me is like evidence to say we've countered the low block, to be honest, because I thought the game was a little bit struggling to break them down until we got the goal from Saliba from a set piece. I think the biggest thing is when we score from set pieces and make it 1-0, the game opens up in our favor. I don't think there's enough evidence to say, oh, we've countered the low block here. Because until that goal, I think it still was a little bit cagey. But I think once we got that goal, we were tearing them apart, getting in dangerous areas. I still want to see us really attack a low block and break it down in terms of pinging the ball about, penetrating passes down the middle and through the sides. But I think overall, I think the main thing for us is got that first goal and be ruthless. And there will be games coming up. Burnley next week is the first one. I think will be a dangerous low block from Company there. Then you've obviously got Porto midweek. You've got Newcastle try and play a low block. They're dangerous on the counter as well. So I think there's plenty of opportunities for us, and teams will come with a low block. But for me, keep in the game, take your chances, and then once you get your goal ahead, then I think it'll be easy pickings from there, basically.
Great breakdown there, my friend. Remember, guys, we were missing Jesus, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe, Jorginho, Partey, and Timber. Last season, we lost players at this time. This season, players are coming back.
I do just want to touch on that, actually, because it is quite concerning that week in, week out, we're still picking up these injuries. Like, our medical team ain't great. It ain't great at all, because it feels like we are literally Pochettino FC. Like, we're having injuries every week now.
Yeah, but you got to look at the Smith Rowe one that happened today, though. That's rolling an ankle. Your medical team can't do much about that. You've got the way you've got to break. If there's lots of soft tissue injuries, pulled muscles, then you've really got to look at what's going on in training. If it's Uri and Timbers can't be helped. Rolling ankles are kind of like Tomiyasu's going to come back with and some of the other players in there, like the Zinchenko's, Jesus's, they were picking up these kind of injuries when they were at Man City as well. So I don't think sometimes you've got to like break these things down individually in relation to that. Who's your winger? Saka is my winger. Yeah, I got Anthony, bruv. I got Anthony, bruv. No Partey, Timber, Alex, Jesus, Smith Rowe. Vieira, due to injury, no complaints either. Just stepped up and ripped them to shreds. Absolutely. Consummate performance today. We've scored 16 in our last 4. No one has scored more. No, they haven't. And you're only a few goals away from being the highest goal scorers in the league. So
that's such an impressive start.
It is. Hang on a sec. Oh, sorry, it's offside. I thought we were in. It's offside. Anyway, you won't hear pundits call out West Ham fans for booing one of their best players, but they will call out Arsenal fans for celebrating.
Big classics.
Do you reckon they'll call out West Ham fans for leaving at half time?
They better.
No.
They better.
It won't get talked about.
Yeah, they proper left. I mean, they didn't just leave. They left.
Before half
Arsenal. I know. Arsenal helped me get my shameless 6-0. I wanted more. And is it Nweri or Waneri? Waneri, sorry. Goal, get that icing on the cake. Yeah, you got it was almost like you guys just weren't. Once the guy, I know you did try and score, but the intensity fell out after those substitutions. I felt a little bit sorry for the subs because they kind of came on, but the message was relax. The goalposts keep changing when Arsenal perform. Last season, no one expected us in the top 4, but still mocked the bottling it. This season, barely a mention of what we did, but still levels of disrespect. Is that something you've come to just take on the chin now, Sar, that no matter what Arsenal do, you're going to get crap from rivals?
Yeah, listen, when you're the new kid on the block coming back and challenging and starting to do this, listen, you're gonna expect it. Obviously, I expect it from Spurs fans because they always wanna finish above us. That is their trophy. You know what I mean? Their trophy is to finish above us. So I expect it from them. But Liverpool this season becoming very arrogant and just trying to. I'm like, bro, what is your beef with us, bro? We've never been good when you were, and you've never been good when we were. All of a sudden, it happens the first time, and you guys all of a sudden are starting to get all freaking crazy and making some mad beef, bro. There's no beef between us.
You know what it is, though?
We go for a title, bro.
It's called fear, bro. That's what it is. It's fear.
Yeah, 100%.
People want to deny it,
They're
but it is fear. People fear Arsenal now, and that's it. They fear us now. Just like, if you go back, 10 years ago or whatever, nobody would even really be that bothered about Liverpool because they was always like finishing 5th, 6th, 4th, never really up there fighting for it. And now all of a sudden, now that we're back in the mix again, people are fearful. They're fearful that maybe we will end up winning the league title. Maybe we will end up winning our first Champions League, and then all these other clubs can't then sit there and talk about us as not being a Champions League winning club. That's what it is. It's fear, bro.
Yeah, the bit for me, I'm all about consistency. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I'm about consistency. If you're going to say Arsenal have got to win the league, at the same time, you've got to say they're the best team in the league. But they'll say you're the second best or third best team in the league, but then still say that you have to win the league. It doesn't make, from an analysis point of view, it doesn't make sense. They're either the best team and capable of winning it. If you don't think they can win it, why are you saying they have to win it? Those two things don't compute and don't make sense in reality.
Yeah, great. This is all I want as well as an Arsenal fan. What I want as an Arsenal fan is consistency. People keep on telling me that Arteta is a crap manager, but they also expect him to go and win the league. And if he doesn't win the league, then he should be sacked, even though people don't think that anyone can win the league bar Pep Guardiola. So this is what I want. Just speak about right now.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. I heard it was a Spurs fan recently say, like, I'm not happy with Big Ange. We need someone that can genuinely dethrone Pep. And there is no one. Like, genuinely, if Pep stays here and City keeps spending, other teams will win league titles and win trophies, but they're still going to be that dominant force, in my opinion, because there's no one of his level. Great set pieces could be seen as an answer to low blocks, another route to goals. Dennis, Arsenal are getting a lot of stick for scoring set pieces. Why?
Well, to be fair, I think you get stick for scoring set pieces because they see it as like the easy way out, or they're associated with teams towards the bottom of the table. That's something you'd expect like a Luton to do. But if we look back to last season, Man City was scoring loads of goals from set pieces in key matches. Like it's another facet of scoring on the football pitch. Everyone hires a set piece coach nowadays. It's a way to get goals. Now, I don't want to rely on it personally, but if it's a route to get goals, by all means, man, by all means, take advantage of it. I hear nowadays people go, oh, but that's what Luton do, Sheffield United, teams like that. But look, I'm all for it, man. Get the goals from set pieces, but get goals from all sorts of areas as well. I still want to see us attack and actually score beautiful team goals, shots from outside the box as well. That's why I was delighted when Rice scored. How many times do we score from outside the box nowadays? I feel like we try and walk the ball in the net too many times, but he just put his foot through it. Fantastic goal. So for me, it's always good to have plenty of options, score from a variety of areas. And one way is set pieces, man. You want to be known as a team that's dangerous on set pieces. And we've got that sort of trait nowadays. So take advantage.
How can you get criticised for
I love
scoring
it, bro.
set pieces, though? I don't get that at all.
I'll
because
tell you what it is.
Way of scoring.
I'll tell you what it is. The reason why we was getting critical, because I was doing the same thing. I was critical of us scoring, not necessarily scoring from set pieces, but the amount of times we were having to rely on set pieces to win us games. That's the difference. Us scoring from set pieces and being dangerous from set pieces is a good thing, but we don't want to be relying on it, which is why today, you know, we scored 2-3 goals from set pieces, but we also scored 2-3 goals from open play as well. So it's when we become reliant on it, that's when it's kind of like, is this sustainable? And at the beginning,
I think that's a great point. I think we also live in the era where people that are great at crossing balls get called spammers. So when David Beckham in 2024 would be called a spammer, genuinely, he'd be, he just spams the ball. Yeah, the way Paul Scholes that used to do his crossfield passing to open teams up, that would now just be called like, what is it they say? Like hit and inshallah, which is just where that has come from is I don't know. Hang on a second. Oh, what a tackle that was to stop Højlund scoring. Jesus Christ. Sorry. I thought we were about to score. I was holding my breath and then I can't believe that tackle came in. Anyway, sorry. Kiwor, Rice, Saka, Odegaard, Trossard, Gabriel, centre-back, deserve a lot of praise and credit today. Live to see their confidence increasing. On Declan Rice, Hooks, I want to ask you first. How far has he surpassed your expectations in terms of he's settling in at Arsenal for £105 million this quickly, dominating games like this?
For me, he settled in way too quick. Like, I can't lie. I didn't expect him to embed himself into the team this quickly and become so crucial to the way that we play so quickly. And to also be delivering GA as well. Like, he's an absolute, like, for me, signing of the season. I know a lot of people talk about Vicario being signing of the season because of value for money. But we literally spent over 100 million on a player that people probably didn't think he could get to these heights, and he's now delivering. So, yeah, goals, assists, the way he like picks up the ball from, you know, our defenders and then passes it on to Odegaard to kind of set off most of our play is incredible. The way he's chasing down everybody and winning that ball back is incredible. The way he kind of predicts and intercepts play it's just crazy. Like, I can now see why a lot of people make comparisons with Rodri. And in my personal opinion, and I'm probably going to get trolled for it, I think Rice is better than Rodri because I feel Rice can do it in any team, whereas I feel Rodri can only do it under Pep Guardiola. So, yeah, amazing stuff. And, yeah, I can't wait to see more from him.
I think what's really key on that, I just want to throw out some stats here. Granit Xhaka last season, 9 goals and 7 assists in all competitions for Arsenal. A lot said, well, who's going to replace that this year? It's currently 4 goals and 5 assists from Declan Rice this season. So looking at his current run rate, he's probably going to be in and around those numbers. So that's answered that. But better than Rodri? Brandon, what are you saying there, mate?
I don't know if you could say better than Rodri.
You can. Don't.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Rodri's been doing it for, you know, a few years now at Man City. He's not just you know, a decent player within their setup either. He's winning things. He's been the difference maker to them winning things as well. I don't know whether you could say he's better than Rodri just yet, but Declan Rice, since he's come in at Arsenal, has been absolutely exceptional. Like my man,
who would you rather have, Brandon?
I think
who would I rather have? Oh,
yeah, who would you rather have?
That's such a tough question because when you ask that, right, I don't think there is actually that much between Rodri and Declan Rice. I just go with Rodri, just ever so slightly, just ever so slightly. And I don't know if it's because of preference, but yeah, like I say, Declan Rice, since he's coming at Arsenal, has been absolutely exceptional. It's been worth every single penny that we've spent on him. I didn't expect him to settle in as quickly as what he has done. I didn't expect him to start coming up with goals and assists. And also, as well, something that I didn't really know about Declan Rice at West Ham, he's such a great set piece taker as well. Since we put him on corners, since we put him on free kicks, all of a sudden we're now really dangerous. We're not just hitting the first man on the corner all the time like we was with Saka and Trossard when they was taking it. Declan Rice's set piece taking ability is very, very good as well. So
yeah, phenomenal player. And look, Rodri, he's got those performances in Champions League winning games, finals, Premier League winning. You've got to add that. So I'd still put Rodri ahead of him. But in terms of his ability and his deliverance so far for Arsenal, it's been absolutely impeccable.
I think Rodri, the only reason why Rodri is that good is because he makes football look very easy. He makes it look very simple. It's so easy for him. That's the reason why. But yeah. Oh my God, Højlund 1-0.
It's good.
Yeah, Højlund. There we go.
He's spoiled it.
Højlund did it. Is he really scored? You'll sound like a Man United fan crying over. Has he scored? Because I'm watching it on Sky Go. It's a little behind. Please don't lie to me, Sardis. You're never coming on again.
You're gonna see it in a second.
Oh, is he onside? Tell me.
Yeah, he is. Yes, yeah.
I'm still on my feet. Loneliness can follow me around. It will not give up until we're done. God knows things could be better, but I'm trying to keep it together. I'm still waiting on a miracle to come.
Anyway, right. If he gets disallowed and start a minute, you're never coming on again. Oh, he's well on. Oh, there. My little Rasmus.
Well, you got me points.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm on an Arsenal stream. I've got to work. I've got a game on. People say I'm not a Man United fan. I mean, I love this. I told everyone this guy was a baller. Do you know what I love about this goal? It's a poacher's goal. It's not. It's a goal scorer's goal. This here, sorry, says the high praise for the front line is understandable, but the back line heavy underrated. Poor Bowen. Yeah, Dennis, your back line is just formidable.
Our defense is top quality, man. I genuinely think now. I do think Rodri is better than Rice. I'll be real, but in terms of actual back line, I think that's quality, man. I think it's the best in the league. Like cohesion wise, top job. And a big shout out to Kiwor as well. I'm not sure if you boys mentioned it, yeah, but we dropped Zinchenko for today's game and put Kiwor on the team. Less inverted stuff going on, but that brother can defend, man, because he had Kudus and Bowen, because Bowen was drifting as well to try and get away from Sleeper and Gabriel. And I thought he was top quality today. Kiwor, the whole defense was solid. The way they recycled the ball quickly, pass out the back, they literally lock you in, man. So they suffocate the opposition, win the ball back quickly. It's all part of the way we play. I thought our defense has been superb, man. Absolutely superb this season.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, he's
goes under the radar because we were literally just attacking most of the time. Like the whole game was basically in their half. So I think a lot of his performance just kind of goes under the radar a bit.
Yeah, it will do. It will because it looks so comfortable. Odegaard snapping pics of West Ham fans leaving the ground.
Big up couple.
Don't have Haaland. We have set pieces. Arsenal getting their fluidity back despite 30% of missing of the first team. If we can get people fit, we can push for both the Prem and Champions League. I think that's a fair statement, wouldn't you say, Hooks? Like you can push for both.
Yes, we most definitely can. Do you know what? I think the fact that because we had a lot of our players out missing, and our bench was, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Our bench was abysmal. But we were still able to have such a dominant performance and not need to rely on having all of our squad there. I think that's a sign of champions. And then when it comes to the UCL, you know what? I'm probably going to get cooked for this, but I think it's a lot easier for Arsenal to win the Champions League than the Premier League. I say this because I don't think any of any of the European teams are gonna play this low block again. I don't think there's a concept of low block in European football. I feel like everyone's gonna come out and attack, and that's where we thrive, when teams come out and attack. Whereas in the Premier League, we have to worry about, I don't know, maybe a Luton deciding that they want to have 100 man and all their fans in the box, so we can't score. That's not going to happen in any of our future Champions League games. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we are going to win it. Just want to clarify. I'm saying that I think we have a higher chance of winning it.
You don't need to be as consistent to win the Champions League as you do the Premier League, especially with this City team. Look, boys, I want to thank you all for coming on. I want to thank all my super chatters, everyone who smashed the like button so far. We are live after Man United versus Aston Villa finishes. So I know you're not Villa fans, and most of you are not Man United fans, but it'd be nice to see you back on that show. If not, top 6 tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. It might be 5 p.m. tomorrow because Chelsea are playing. But listen, take care. Goodbye. God bless.
Come on, Villa.
We're all living in a